Hey guys, welcome back to Burnout's Hot Rod Shop. Yeah, I trimmed the beard down. This heat wave we're having, it was getting itchy and driving me nuts. It's 4th of July weekend, and I picked up an auction that I'd won earlier this week. I kind of alluded to it in one of my earlier videos talking about a proto toolbox, so hopefully I won. So you'll get to see that if I won it. Maybe I gave that away. Along with stopping at the Quakertown flea market, I bought stuff from one vendor, and another find by my son whenever he was at the Salvation Army. Same Salvation Army he got that Craftsman pipe wrench, or a pipe threading kit at. So check it out. It's a fun one. Let me know what you think. Just got back from the auction. I probably already gave you some intro or something, but this is a quick look at what all we picked up. We'll get some more in-depth. Lots of sawhorses. This truckload was $100. All the sawhorses was a single lot for $5. So I couldn't pass up all those sawhorses for $5. I'll pull out the cool stuff and we'll go through it. All right, so everything is sorted. We'll go through this all real quick. We'll start off, this is stuff for the flea market. I was actually gonna take this to an outdoor market today, but it was raining this morning, so I didn't go. We've got this giant pipe clamp stand, a whole bunch of C-clamps, the majority of which are Bemis and Collis. Got a Taiwanese 3/4 drive set, some large tap handles, a whole box of hammers, and then we've got this empty toolbox. It had some wrenches in it, but we'll show you those in a minute. So I also picked these up. These are the old electrical wire insulators from telephone poles. These are all the ones that were not broken. I've got another bin about half full of broken ones. But these were the non-broken. There's a couple with some small chips, but that's really the extent of it. There's one that's a little bit different. It's kind of that blue color. The rest are all these clear, some with a flat top, some with the more of a dome top. But I bought that entire lot for $5. So this was sorry about the shakiness. This was the first thing I saw that I knew I was gonna go for. It was a shop press. It is a Harbor Freight one. It is the 12-ton, not the 20-ton. And it's the older whenever they did them in orange instead of silver. But I got it for $30, so I couldn't complain about that. And we'll move on to the other item that when I saw it, I knew I wanted it. And it had some tools in it. A lot of stuff that's in dollar bin boxes or just got rid of. All the drawers open nicely. And as we can see, it's a Proto Professional. It's got the keys. We got the 4-drawer mid cabinet. And then it's sitting on top of the old gray and red Craftsman roller base. And it, just like most of these old Craftsmans, it works really well. So that toolbox was $40. I spent $100, some 70 of it was right there in those two pieces. I did pick this cabinet up too. Just thought it'd be nice to have around the shop. It was a $5 lot. It had some stuff in it. Most of it was trash. I did save a couple pieces. I will show you one of those here in a minute. So I think now that's the big stuff. And we can get over to the table and I'll show you what we got there. So this is the table of keep stuff for me. Start off over here. We got some welding gloves. They were in that little white cabinet. And then we got this beast. You see it's a J.H. Williams, Buffalo, New York. And let's just take all that in. Look how large that chain wrench is. I didn't know it was going to be that large. In the pictures, I just thought it was a standard chain wrench. It did come with the pipe clamp stand, and it was $5 for the pair. But that thing is a beast. That, I think, is my largest tool that I've got. Come down in here to these hammers. These are two Craftsman rubber-tipped hammers. You see, this one has been well used. This one has been saved a little bit. And they both, at one point, were the Craftsman green. Next, we've got this guy. So it's a Garland, and it's from Maine. And you can exchange out those rubber heads. Here we got another cobbler's hammer. This is a little bit different than the one I got a few weeks ago. It has more of the straight edge on it, and not the one that tips way down. Up here, we got this S-wing, and it's a stacked leather handle. You come down here, we got some channel lock cutters, a pair of channel lock pliers, and some Craftsman locking pliers. We got these cool little ID tags from pumps. I just thought those would be kind of cool to hang around the shop. We picked up one of these file handles. So if you saw George at You Want to Watch, he restored one of these, one of the cast iron ones. This is an aluminum one, or some type of soft metal like aluminum. That whole box of clamps, there was one J.H. Williams, so I pulled it out for me. Next up, we got this number 125, 1786 Canada, and it's a Fuller dial-a-bit. You can hear the bits inside. Kind of reminds me of a Miller's Falls, the way you turn the bit and stuff. And then we've got this Malco pokey thing, and it's a pretty large one. Here we've got a church key, and it's a quad fold. Nothing on that side, but it flips out. So I thought that was kind of cool. There's a couple other regular church keys that I have a bunch of, but this one was a little bit different, so I figured I'd show it to you guys. Up here, we've got this green handle dime alloy, and it's an 8. Handle's still in pretty decent shape. The edge is worn off, but it'll clean up. And we've got this adjustable. It's the 90-10 Utica with the 3 diamonds. Get out from underneath that chain. And this one is a 12-inch crescent. Forged crust alloy steel. Yeah, and USA on that side. I was like, I know I saw the USA on this one, on that one. Here's a pretty crusty McKeegan hatch. That one's an 8-inch. And here's a little bit cleaner 8-inch McKeegan hatch. This one I was pretty excited about when I saw it. Looks like a little gimmicky wrench, but it is a Craftsman. And this one, instead of twisting, you just slide back and forth, and that closes it up. It's in really nice shape. That'll go in my Craftsman box. I do not have one of those yet. Next, I picked up this Stanley Fat Max knife. And then this Stanley number 199. And finally, this little keychain utility knife. I thought that was pretty cool. And we'll finish up that part of the haul, which was from that one auction, with the wrenches. So this one is a Williams Super Wrench that's real crusty. I can't read the sizes on it. But double box, it'll get cleaned up. Here we've got a Pennons double box. And a PNC double box. All of these wrenches here and these Craftsman and stuff over here were all in that empty toolbox I showed you on the floor. Now we've got these double opens, Craftsman, almost a full set, 2 of the 19/32 and 11/16. And then we're missing the 5/8, but then down to the half 9/16, and then 7/16, 3/8. Got this double box that's a half 9/16. We've got this 3/4 and 7/8. And we've got this underline C Craftsman Vanadium 9/16 and half double box. And then we go into the Flying V combination stuff. So we got 11/16, 5/8, no 9/16, but we got a half, no 7/16, but we got a 3/8. So almost a full set of the combination Flying V. And then these 3 tools were in the proto box. So here we've got this Industro. Looks like it's a 3/8, 7/16, and then a Matco 5/8, and a 1/2 inch combination Mac. And that's the number on it, CHL16 USA. So those were the keepers for me from the auction lot, and of course the big pieces. Now, there were a few other things. I did make a couple other stops. So I stopped at the Quakertown flea market on Friday. This is 4th of July weekend. Stopped in on Friday the 3rd, and it was hot. Most of the vendors were not there. The ones that were there were packing up by 10:30. I got there about 10. But I did manage to snag this Craftsman Vanadium underline C 9/16 combination. These 3 Matco sockets. And these 4 snap-on pieces. Those all came from the same vendor, and he charged me $5 for that lot. He said, "Looks like a $5 bill to me." I said, "Looks good to me too." These are the plastic ring Craftsman. Those were in, for some reason I had them in my dollar bin, so I need to make sure I didn't put any others in there. And then finally, my son Nico picked up this torque wrench for me at our local Salvation Army for $2. And this one looks a lot like the Snap-on. And this company actually made torque wrenches for Snap-on until Snap-on got into making their own. And this one is Apco Mossberg, which is what the Frank Mossberg company changed their name to. They're still around today. But that is a torque wrench. They made one just like it for Snap-on at one point, and then Snap-on started making their own that looked nearly like it. They had a little bit more of a pointy flair to them. So that is my 4th of July weekend tool haul. So guys, I hope you liked that one. I was excited about that auction, only spending $100. Those proto boxes are expensive when you see them. That shop press is like $200 or something to Harbor Freight if I bought a brand new one. And then all the other little things and a bunch of stuff to sell. Like I said in the video, I was hoping to make it out to the Blue Ridge Flea Market. It just didn't happen because it was raining still pretty good this morning. So I went back to bed. My wife's working the indoor booth in Wing Gap. I have restocked a bunch of stuff out there. So stop in and see us if you haven't yet. The hammer box is getting pretty full, but I'm selling hammers every week. People love coming in and buying $5 hammers. I got lots of good hammers that are $5. I got lots of cheap hammers that are $5. So you never know what you're gonna get, right? Put a bunch of pipe wrenches in there, put a torque wrench in there, put some other stuff in there too. So it's all growing. We're enjoying it. And I hope, speaking of enjoying, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, remember to like, share, subscribe, all that cool stuff that I usually don't tell you, but all the other YouTubers do. And also, I think we're at 464 subscribers. So not one of those great numbers. I'm not Hoovie's Garage or anything like that. But we're trying to get to 500 so that I can give you guys a set of socket rails like I use in my Craftsman Industrial box and my Snap-on box. So if we get to that 500 number, we'll do a drawing, and somebody will end up winning that. So tell your friends, your family, whatever. Let's see if we can get to that 500 number here in the next couple of weeks. That'd be awesome to have happen. So what was your guys' favorite piece? And for me, it's a tough one. There was some pretty cool stuff in there. Probably the Proto box, just because it really caught my eye. But it's tough to say. Like I say, there was a lot of cool stuff. So let me know what yours was. Comment, tell me what you like, what you didn't like. Do you like this a little bit quicker format that I'm doing as I'm going on and on for 2 minutes for an outro? I'm just trying to get through a little bit quicker. I know that sometimes the half hour, 45-minute ones seem like they don't get a whole lot of follow through on the watching. So I figure if I can stay in that 20 to 30 minutes, we'll be in good shape. But I'm looking for your feedback. Anyway, remember, I'm burnout. I love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.